Hello everyone, welcome back for our final match of the weekend here in the Mania 7 Key World Cup 2024 round of 16. We are here with the last match, China versus Germany, seed number 2 versus seed number 18 coming in here. I'm Potassium F, going to be commentating alongside Raviel. How are you doing today?
Yeah, it's time to get our voices warmed up for the final match of the round of 16 like you just said. A huge seed disparity, 16 seeds between these two. China, of course, huge favorites to go all the way, potentially to take the entire tournament, and Germany just here to probably vibe and see how far they can go, being lowly seeded 18th, but we'll have to see what they can prove to us today.
Yeah, Germany actually just last week in the round of 24 upsetting the UK, I believe. So managing to pull off that seeding upset, which is why they are here in the winners bracket right now. And of course, as you said, China seed number 2, putting off some pretty fantastic, well-rounded scores, I would say, in the qualifiers. So it feels like China definitely one of those teams, unlike maybe some of the other top teams. China feels like they don't particularly have any significant weaknesses to exploit.
Yeah, China's qualifier scores are extremely scary when the lowest position on any of the stages is fourth place. That is telling of your squad being very versatile. Protects are coming in, by the way. China protected Hybrid 1 and Germany has protected Vice 3.
These are some very interesting protects. Hybrid 1 I don't think we've really seen being protected or banned so far this round at least. And Germany opting to protect Wave Tapper. I think as kind of weird as that does seem, I think it's a fairly reasonable protect from Germany because you have a map like Wave Tapper. We've seen plenty of matches on that one be so close, and it coming down to the wire with just these individual combo drops from either team. So I think Germany definitely wants to get into that kind of battle where they might be able to be within touching distance of China's scores.
Yeah, I feel the same way as well. I don't think it's a weird protect. I feel like that's probably Germany's best protect, because I think that map is the best opportunity to steal a point off China, because China is just so consistent on so many areas, especially with like what the qualifiers are testing. But Kodjaks, we've seen so many close scores on Kodjaks. Germany definitely feel like they can maybe nick something off the Kodjak pick. So now just waiting for their ban, yeah?
One thing I'm interested in here is LN1, because we have seen in quite a few of these matches that have had quite like large seeding disparities between the teams, LN1 has typically been the pick that I feel like the lower seeded team would rather go for, right? It's a bit of an out there wild card, you know, low note count, maybe the other team chokes, maybe they're not comfortable with it entirely. But in this case, I feel like China is absolutely like one of the last teams you ever want to be leaving LN1 up for, even if it is that really risky, awkward pick. And I feel like maybe even China might want to pick that at some point if they're feeling a little bit spicy later on in this match. But it looks like instead Germany's going to be banning LN3 and China not interested in the tech.
I won't say it's a questionable ban so far. I think it's okay. We'll just have to see what game plan these two teams will have, especially Germany. If they want to even get a single point off China, they must have a very solid game plan. China will go with LNs first. LN2 is coming out.
Yeah, and with that ban and first pick from China, what I'm really kind of getting out of this is that China are looking to take away or avoid all of the uncomfortable picks for them personally and go for more of the straightforward maps instead. And I feel like as the higher seed, that might be a fairly good strategy for them. Try to avoid any large chokes, as you know, tech maps can be. Lots of missed potential on maps like those, so they just want to get that one out of the way and opt for the more straightforward ones instead. This one, gonna be, you would say, the least technical of all of the LN picks that are up on the board.
I mean, you have this and LN1, and LN1 is the very control-based coordination release pick. Even though China were second on that qualifier, stage 4, which was the LN coordination, I don't think they want to risk it, especially with the first pick of the match.
Yeah, it's one of those picks that if you don't need to pick it, maybe you shouldn't. But at the same time, I would like to see it because
I would like to see it too. Oh my gosh, Tyrant with the first miss of the entire match, and that will give the lead to Germany right away.
Yeah, Turks not having a very good start here, but it is Turks after all, should be able to recover that accuracy pretty quickly. But very nice early lead. Actually, Susha on the side of Germany. Oh, actually finding a miss then, as I say that, unfortunate. I was going to say the accuracy was dropping a little bit there.
Oh my gosh.
Story finding a miss here, actually maybe not entirely comfortable on the side of China, and it's only Sukiya Whiskers on the side of Germany with the full combo so far.
I'm a bit surprised that both Chinese players have already dropped combos. Of course, China still have that lead. Susha does miss again. The accuracy difference is pretty huge between Susha and the rest of the lobby as they miss again. Now 10,000 points to China, but yeah, very interesting to see that China don't have any FCs at the moment.
Yeah, this AC difference is really, as you said, this is what's really doing it here. Susha having a little bit of difficulty navigating some of these LN patterns here, dropping down below 99%. And accuracy matters a whole lot when we're talking about score v2 here. Despite Sukiya Whiskers having the highest accuracy and the only full combo in the lobby, that is a really strong performance there.
That is so impressive that Sukiya Whiskers is the MVP of the lobby, but of course you need two to tango. And Susha is just struggling to keep up with the rest of the lobby. And that's pretty much the bulk of this 40,000 point lead climbing for China.
And we can see these recoveries here on Team China, both players approaching that mid 99.6 range, despite the shaky start from both of them, and they end up with very high combos themselves. So crisis averted for China here, very solid first pick, all things considered. But it is going to be Sukiya Whiskers coming out with that MVP performance. If that kind of play can keep up for Germany, maybe there are some chances available to them.
Yeah, that is extremely solid accuracy from Sukiya Whiskers. But it does feel like it's going to be whether or not Germany have a strong enough second player to match China.
Yeah, I guess that is really what it's going to come down to for a lot of these. So I guess the picks are going to have to be dictated by that second player for Germany. What maps do they have the best second score on, if that kind of makes sense? What is the most comfortable for their second player? And I guess that would also play into why they protected Wave Tapper before. That one may be a little bit easier depending on the skill sets.
Now what I'm interested is, will Germany want to try LN1? Or will they want to try Wave Tapper? I see like either or could potentially be picks.
I would be very surprised if anyone picks LN1 against China. I would agree in maybe any other matchup. If they were versing like South Korea, I would even say, yeah, why not? But I just don't think China is the team you want to be doing that against. Or Canada, for that matter, after what we saw in that match.
Oh.
But instead, yeah, we're going to see more of the straightforward Rice picks coming out. Yeah, after that LN pick, maybe LN is not the most comfortable on Germany's side. They're going to opt for the Rice instead, and the more straightforward pick as well means that maybe Germany's second player can keep up in that accuracy. We are going to get Sinkip in here for Team Germany, so a bit of a roster change for the second map.
Oh, actually, is this the Court Stream pick?
This is the Court Stream, yes.
Ah, okay, you know what? I think this is Germany's best pick. I'm sorry. Forget everything I said prior, because Germany seeded 8th on stage 6, which was the Court Stream. 8th compared to China's 4th. So Germany definitely, have the best shot on Court Stream amongst all 8 qualifier stages. So them going for the Court Stream pick to start, I'm not surprised.
And if we see a couple of misses perhaps from China like we did in that first map, it's absolutely game on here. Fairly calm start here, everyone off to a good start. Sinkip actually dropping a lot of accuracy down to the low 99%. But combo intact, and it's very, very early on in the map. Plenty of time to build that one back up, and we can already see it's up to 99.6. No big deal there. Tsukiya Whisker's actually now dropping down. And Sinkip with the first miss.
Another miss to follow, as well as China still hold 99.8 FCs in the first 25%.
Yeah, it does end up being a bit of a double-edged sword picking the more comfortable picks, because while, you know, maybe Germany is more comfortable in this, certainly looks like China is as well, both holding that extremely high accuracy with the full combos coming in to the halfway mark of the map.
Yeah, but we've already seen China have the potential to miss. We've seen them be human before. So there is, of course, a chance, even though it is 20,000 points and we're halfway through the map. Still a lot of potential to miss from either side.
The big question, will they be human again?
Yeah.
Perhaps not. And we do have half the map left, as you say, but this accuracy lead is fairly significant, and the miss lead, of course, in China's favor, but I think a bigger deal than that is the accuracy, and we can see 99.4 still very solid on Sinkip's side, still also very solid on Tsukiya Whiskers with the 99.7, but none of those players are matching the players on China right now, who are holding about a 99.85% average across the two of them.
Yeah, Germany have seemed to kind of stabilize the accuracy in combos, but if China don't blink, I don't think it's possible for Germany to do anything.
We're approaching the end of the map. It looks like no drama is going to happen on either side towards the end here. Aside from that very early slip up from Sinkip, this has been a very consistent performance from all four players.
Ooh,
and
2 100s.
It's
all China get.
I was about to say 2 score v1 double S's for China. But actually, Satori, the one with the better ratio, but unfortunately, two 100s somewhere along the line. But yeah, Germany, very close as well to the double FC. That would have been a very solid team score, but unfortunately just not enough to match China when China are not making any mistakes like this.
And now it's back to China's pick. Hybrids are all open, definitely a huge pool of options there.
Yeah, definitely something to look towards. The LN2 worked out wonderfully for them. LN1, of course, being a bit of a wildcard pick in this match. I think that would be reasonable for China to pick right now as well if they wanted to. But they are going to go for their Protect, it seems like. Hybrid 1 makes a lot of sense. They are, of course, capable of playing every map in this pool to a very high level. So they decide to pick the one that they feel they are most comfortable on.
Now this one is the tamest hybrid out of the 3.
Yeah, nothing too crazy, timing-wise compared to Hybrid 2, and not quite as difficult as Hybrid 3, so a little bit more comfort on the side of China. They can minimize any big chokes, big misses throughout the map. But of course, we've seen what Tsukiya Whiskers in particular on Germany's side can pull off in some of these maps.
We do see a swap in, Qing Ziding coming in.
And also Sushok making a reappearance here for Team Germany. So we'll see how the teams perform. First hybrid map we're seeing of the match. It looks like a little bit of a rough start here for Susha, dropping down to below 99% and finding an early miss on top of that as well, not going to help out.
Yeah, very
Both
good
players,
stuff from Sukiya though.
yeah, absolutely. 99.7 right now. I think dropped just a little bit of accuracy there, but still above both players on Team China who are on 99.6 each. It is just Susha right now, struggling a little bit more now with a couple more misses, dropping down to 98% flat, and that's giving a 22,000 point lead over to Team China. Still 3 FCs on the board.
Yeah, this is where the team game really shows up when China, even though none of their players have the highest accuracy. Oh, actually, as I say that, Tyrix overtakes Sukiya in accuracy. They just have superior accuracy over Germany regardless.
Yeah, they just have that clear comfort level above Team Germany as a whole. China able to keep up with these maps here. We're getting to the halfway point, 38,000 points. We're just about cresting in the score lead. Feels like this might be a bit too much for Germany to come back from. Even multiple misses from Team China is not going to be enough to swing this score back in Germany's favor.
Yeah, Sukiya doing all they can, but Susha with another miss. China still 2 FCs. It is looking very, very difficult at this point for Germany.
I don't think we've seen many, not going to call it too early, but we have not seen many double FCs on this map in particular. At least I haven't seen many of them throughout this weekend. So this is looking like an extremely solid China team score right now.
Well, we're watching 3-way FCs at the moment. The map is about to end. I believe that should be 3 FCs. Unless someone trolls.
I've seen weirder chokes at the end of maps. I've seen weirder chokes, but they do manage to hold on, and we do see the 3-way FC here. Turks being the MVP, 989k. And we can see Tukia Whiskers once again managing to keep up with the Chinese players, but just not quite there with their second player, unfortunately. So China are going to take their 3rd point in a row, 3-0 up. And now Germany, I feel like they have to pick Wave Tapper now.
Yeah, surely. It feels like this could be their last chance anyways.
Yeah,
also, apparently it is... Yeah, it is Singkip and Susho's birthday today, so...
Both of them?
Yeah, apparently.
What are the chances of that? That's wild. 2 players on the same team.
And unfortunately, they have to face a powerhouse like China. But hey, if they can get a point, I think that would be a very good birthday gift, and surely it has to be Wave Tapper. Sure.
Oh yes, asking for 1 point as a present, birthday present.
I mean, I don't know if China is going to show any mercy or not.
Hey, I mean, Wave Tapper, anything can happen. Realistically, we have seen everything possible happen on Claude Jack picks. Wait.
You're going out at 1?
Never mind. Ooh.
I called it.
Okay. This is a bit of a curveball coming out from Germany. Why not, I guess? Wave Tapper, I do think, was a pretty good pick, but, you know, sure. Sure. I'm scared about China's team score here, but I think that Germany is also very capable when it comes to some of these, and it's also a very risky map just in general. Such a niche skill set. Yeah, such a niche skill set that even if you're good at it, there is still a lot of choke potential, and chokes really tank your score.
Yeah, we do see Vinkers coming in for Germany. And it does seem like China are a bit reluctant to play this, as they have a swap Twix out for Van Wilder, aka Zhang Fan.
Yeah, one of the veterans for Team China coming in here. Now, the one thing that I always associate with Van Wilder is that they are very, very good at holding combo, which is a fantastic skill to have in a map like this, where combo is the most important thing in this. You do not want to be dropping combo in a map with so few notes like this.
But let's see if Germany can cause an upset on this map. We do see a perfect split of non-mirror to mirror ratio.
And such a calm song, but the players are gonna be anything but right now.
It's always the calm songs.
Such a
That's
stressful
one
thing to be
down.
playing. Yeah, that's Tsukiya Whiskers with a very early. That was in the first 100 notes.
Yeah. That's
So
going to hurt in the long run.
It is gonna hurt, and we can already see that's 10,000 points right off of that one miss. Also, the accuracy helping out in China's favor right now. Oh, Satori, actually, just as I say that, drops down to 99.5. A little bit of a 200 drop there.
Yeah, but you would think that China should, or at least for Germany's sake, should miss. Because Germany's accuracy is nowhere near China's.
Well, you say nowhere near. A couple of 200s is the difference, really, when you have this low note count. It's very impactful.
Very true.
But all of these dents, everyone's holding on to these patterns right now, even at this level of density. But
but there's another miss on Tsukiya.
Finding the second miss there. Still above 99%, but 2 misses, while China is going full steam ahead. 2 full combos still, getting into the last third of the map. And the third miss there is no time left for Tsukiya to ever reach that 400 combo mark again.
Yeah. I think that is sealed, signed and delivered to China. Match point essentially secured. But will we see the two-way FC from China? Very close accuracies.
I love watching these maps, but they also make me so nervous to watch. It is so hard to watch people playing this because you can just imagine at every single note all of the players missing. But it doesn't happen. We get 3 full combos in this lobby. That is actually incredible on a map like this.
Yeah, shoutouts to Vinkers. Actually matching ratio with Van Wilder. That is very impressive, but yeah, China's team score definitely up there. And that is match point.
Ratios, all things considered, the ratios between both teams were basically the same. Remove those misses and it would have just been a couple 200s difference between the two teams. But it is going to be China taking that break point 4-0, and they get potentially the last pick of the match here. Hybrid 3. And it's going to be up to Germany right now if they want to get on the board at all in this match.
Apparently Germany forgot to pick the protect.
Yeah, well, I mean, they had the chance. They chose to go with the curveball instead.
And
but
they still have potential.
They still have potentially a chance, yeah, if they manage to win this one. But we've seen how hard that is going to be.
Yeah, apart from the first map blunder, I think China has FC'd everything since then, right?
Let me think. Yeah, they double FC'd Invoke. They double FC'd, yeah, the Quad Stream. And then they did. Okay, so basically, aside from the first 15 seconds or 20 seconds of the match, they got their misses out of the way really early, and it's just been FCs from then on.
Apparently they were saying in chat that their hands were cold. Well, I don't think they're cold anymore.
Yeah, absolutely warmed up at this point. And it is going to be what is said to be one of the hardest picks of the entire pool here.
Yeah.
Potentially the hardest pick if you're comfortable with LN1.
This could be brutal.
Yeah,
to Germany at least.
We do know the difficult maps should, in theory, favor China quite a lot, of course, being seed number 2 and all. So we'll see how this one goes. We'll see if Germany can keep up in this one, but it is China looking to end things out early here in this match.
Yeah, China's sweep just 2.5 minutes away. As long as they can secure the point on their protect.
Yeah, no Turks in this one, actually. I would have thought Turks would be playing these ones, but of course China do have all 4 of their players are pretty exceptional in their own right. So let's see how this one goes. Off to fairly good starts here for all 4 players. Small accuracy lead over towards Team China.
Yeah, but once the difficulty starts to ramp up, we'll see if there will be any changes.
Oh, and there's the first victim already, Susha missing on that transition there as we're getting into a little bit more tricky patterning here.
Sukiya doing really well to match Satori, but here's the thing, that is very high accuracy at this stage of the map, 99.8.
Yeah, 99.88 is not something that you can see many players even be capable of, let alone setting in a tournament match. And here we go, LN starting to kick in now as well. These brutal trills. Not tripping anyone up just yet though, but Susha finding a miss there, unfortunately. Dropping down below 99% as well to the low 98s. That's going to give a larger lead over to Team China. Qing Chidin also dropping down below that previous 99.8% they were holding.
Yeah, they dropped so far. They're now second to Satori, third to Sukiya.
But still 3 full combos, 2/3 of the way into the map. These players are just not feeling like missing whatsoever.
Well, except for Susha, he picks up another miss, and that lead's just gonna grow to China, but seems the thing finds the miss.
So the miss being traded, but that was a fairly clean miss there. Susha ended up dropping a little bit more accuracy along with their miss. So it is going to be 48,000 points as we're getting into the last section of the map here. Feels like this one is pretty secure in China's favor. Not really much that Germany could hope for. But there is another miss. Another miss from Team China here, but they still have that full combo in Satori. Matched by Sukiya Whiskers, but not quite enough. It's going to be China closing out the match 5-0 against Germany here. But some very strong individual scores from Team Germany throughout the entire match.
Yeah, shoutouts to Sukiya Whiskers. They are miles ahead of anyone in Germany at the moment, and definitely going to be a very important asset for their tournament run. But they will go down to the lower bracket.
Yeah, absolutely. So it is going to be China moving on in the winners bracket. Germany still in the tournament, but they are going to be sent down into the losers bracket. And since that was the last match, we should have the matchups already known. I'm just trying to think the seeding. So China being seed 2 should match up against Canada?
Yes, correct. China will be facing Canada.
That is going to be a very interesting match.
As for Germany, they will be facing Estonia.
Oh, another very interesting match. Down in the losers bracket there.
That is seed 18 and 21.
Yeah, very close those seedings overall. But we will have to see. For now though, that is going to end out all of the matches here for this weekend. There's only one stream left that we have to do, and that is going to be the map pool showcase for the quarterfinals round, which will be next week, featuring all of those matchups that we were just mentioning as well. So I believe we're going to take a short break right now while things get set up, and we'll be back soon enough with the map pool showcase.
Yep, do not go anywhere.